It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an era we call the World Pokemon Federation.
Can I just ask, what's that a reference to?
That's the Twilight Zone intro.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I've never heard it, but I'm sure it's even better than the original Twilight Zone intro.
Yeah, definitely. I should have been the new Rod Serling instead of, I forget who the name of the guy who played Rod Serling.
I'm gonna say it was
I remember his face, but I always forget his name. Okay, apparently Jordan Peele is doing another one in 2019, but I was talking about the like early 2000s one.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're thinking of who is it? It's I cannot think of. Oh yeah, it's Bob Hoskins. It was Bob Hoskins, 100%.
It was not Bob Hoskins. It was the guy. It's the guy. It was Forrest Whitaker.
Anyway,
I always just remember as the dude with the funny eye.
So.
Yes, I should be the new Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah, but you should also be the guy that actually starts this video. Oh wait, you were the guy that starts. Whatever. We should be the people that actually start this stupid video.
So I'm Electric, and this is Keith, and we're going to break down how you can do a very classic fundamental draft core that I literally have only ever seen win draft leagues that it's been drafted in, and I have seen it be drafted before, just not by someone who isn't me. So we're going to see whether the control group is the team or whether the control group is the skill of the coach.
Hopefully it is the former, not the latter. So if it's the latter, I'm predicting a 0-8 season.
Yeah, that's right. A very fun announcement about S Division this season is it's gone from a 10-week season to an 8-week season.
Yes, that is important. This is season 7. I'm back after my somewhat successful season last season. And I'm attempting to record again. Let's see how long it takes until I have it like an embarrassing game and then refuse to record it like I did for season 5.
Nice.
Because that's why I stopped the X Gamer match, which never happened, that I won, was so embarrassing I refused to record. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. Anyway, so I was I believe, 12, actually. Or something.
Yes.
Or I wasn't pick. I was pick 8. Why did I think I was pick 12? I was pick 8. Yeah. So spec bang in the middle, and I was very concerned.
Or 18, by the way. This is an 18-person league, and you're picking.
Yeah, and I was very concerned because there's a particular Pokemon that I love to use that I really wanted to use because my good friend here told me about a core, and I'm like, oh boy, that sounds like something dumb that I could do that tops my triple Galar starter from last season. Fortunately, the Pokemon did drop down to me, and it is Tornadus Therian. Now, one of my many notable takes is that I think Tornadus Therian is one of the best Pokemon in the draft format. It is probably, I think, with Lando Eye and Pulp Band, it's the best Pokemon.
Why would Lando Eye be banned?
A lot of people ban it, man. So I think with I think it's honestly like a top 3 Pokemon. It's so good. Like, I understand people are hesitant to use it because I missed my Hurricane. It's like, yeah, cool, amazing.
So I just want to preface this with the picks. So WPF is an on-league this season. This is why I didn't join. They didn't ban Dragapult. Pick 1 was Dragapult. Pick 2 was Landorus Incarnate, which is a really early pick. Then pick 3 was another early pick in Urshifu Rapid Strike. Sorry, a Single Strike.
Then if it was Rapid, oh boy.
Yeah, that would have been even wilder. Then it was Celesteela, and then it was Zygarde, and then it was Coco. Again, so many really bizarre round 1 picks in that situation. And then somehow it fell to you.
Yeah, and I was very happy about that because I was stressing for a long time. Like a whole work day stressing. I stayed up till 3 just so I could slap down my Taunty, and I'm very glad I did. Yeah, I think Tornadus Therian is just a great Pokemon. It's very flexible. It can it's a Pokemon I've drafted a lot, and that's because it's just very good. It can,
very consistent.
Yeah, do whatever you want it to do.
One of the best Pokemon in the format.
Excellent speed, excellent pivot. It works. It just does things. It's really good. I can't explain it other than it's just a really good Pokemon that I love using. Boots has made it insane. Nasty Plot gave it another trick to its arsenal. Yeah, like
That's Pokemon which can form as a win condition even easier.
Yep, it's just stupidly good. But then I fell asleep, and by the time I woke up, it was back to me again. The picks were, and actually I think this was actually picked for me, and then I woke up like 10 minutes later. My second pick, and this is part 2 of the terrifying core.
I don't know why you're saying terrible. Terrible
terribly
is
terrifying.
terrible,
Yeah,
right?
that's what like terrible is in like,
It's incredible. Like I don't think there's even a better core in the format.
That is Landorus Therian. I have my second genie, so I currently have 6 wishes. 6 wishes in the bank.
When he says the genie, he didn't get the genies, which is the incarnates. No, he got their first orders.
No.
It's just
no.
As you can tell, he drafted the Soda core.
I forgot to put my nicknames on this. So, Tornadus Therian is nicknamed Clotho after one of the because they're all spoiler warning named after a
Greek mythological.
Greek mythological people that aren't gods. So this was Clotho, who is one of the 3 like sisters of fate or something, who sort of decide basically how everyone's life goes.
The ones that share eyeballs, right?
Yes. And Landorus is named after Lachesis? I don't actually know how to pronounce that name, but the second, the middle child, with Tornadus being the youngest child. And Lando T is another very flexible Pokemon that it's just stupid good with no hidden power ice. It can. It just appreciates hidden power ice not being a thing, and it's a Pokemon that I think can just sort of come to every single game, if that makes sense.
Most games, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like there's very few. Like it's got its better matchups and it's got its worst matchups, but there are very few games where you just look at it and go, "Wow, Lando T is terrible here." It's just a very consistent Pokemon that will put in work every time. And I don't think, I think its worst matchup is like Rain or something, but I don't think a Rain team was drafted.
I don't believe there was a Rain team drafted. I know Pelipper didn't go.
Yeah.
I don't know if also did though. If it did, it was not a main great.
Yeah. So I think this is a good start. I think this is a very strong start. But there's issues. Ice types. That's an issue. So my pick number, I didn't decide to complete the core in my first 3 picks because I think by this point everyone kind of knew what I was going for. So I don't think I was relying on the goodness of other people to not pick the third.
I don't know, man.
Genie.
You took Thunderous pretty early for what you did.
Well, I did. I took it when I didn't know what else I was doing.
Yeah, you could absolutely have waited it for last.
Yeah, but
it's all from the Pokemon that goes on drafted.
But anyway, number 3 was Scizor, which I'm very glad got to me at pick 3.
Mainland Orpheus.
Yeah, it is named Orpheus, named after the... what was the instrument? Was it a lute? I think it was a lute. The lute player who lost his girlfriend, went down to Hades, managed to convince Hades to give him a deal to get his girlfriend back. It was the lyre. That was it. It was the lyre. The girlfriend was Eurycides, and he, managed to convince Hades with a very, very good lyre performance to let his wife come back to him, but on the conditions that he, came back without looking behind her. She would follow him without making any, sound or movement. But of course, inevitably, he was like, "Oh my God, she might not be there." He turned around. He looked at her, and then she was dragged back to Hades, and he was very sad. And let's hope this Scizor doesn't get very sad this season.
Yeah, that's what happens when you make a bad U-turn call.
Well, yeah, Scizor aids the good U-turn, the U-turn sort of trio that I've got so far. This is another Pokemon that also really loves hidden powers not existing. And this is just a very... it's a good steel type.
If you have, Lando Scizor, then if hidden power exists, then they just run... which one do they run?
Oh, that's true.
Which one does a Magnezone run in this matchup? I know it gets neither, but yeah,
in theory, yes. This is true. But this is just...
I've done it before.
I just wanted a very reliable steal that can come to a lot of games. It's
With
got
recovery.
it's got recovery, it's got roost. Just a nice strong thing to threaten ice types, like
Yeah.
it
The
helps.
main downside being that it was not a rock resist as a steal,
No,
but
that's
it was still a very good aspect for this team.
yes. Like let's be honest. If I'm drafting Triple Therian, there's this Pokemon called Mamoswine, and Sizzle can at least like threaten to bullet punch it. So that's nice.
Yep.
Yeah. So pick number
Speaking of losing to Mamoswine,
pick number 4 was another lose to Mamoswine Pokemon, but I needed another very strong ice resist, and I wanted something to to be a regen partner along with Torn, and I picked Toxapex. I've drafted
That's right.
Torn and Toxapex before.
Toxaflex.
Toxapex, very good Pokemon.
Truly, Sisyphus.
Yes, it is named after Sisyphus, after the the famous Sisyphus, who I don't remember why he was given this task, but he was tasked to push a boulder up a mountain.
Wasn't he just like king who declared himself a god or something?
That might have been it. And every time he almost got the boulder to the top of the mountain, but every time he does, the boulder falls back down. He loses strength, it falls back down, so he has to go back to the bottom and push it back up again. And that's basically what fighting a Toxapex is like, because you hit it and then it like gets its health back. And I thought that was pretty perfect.
Okay, so what he did was
Yeah.
he seduced his niece to try and overthrow his brother, and then the niece found out that she was trying to betray her dad, which was his brother. So then she murdered the children they had together, and then something happened.
Okay.
And then he betrayed Zeus. So then he got more made to push a thing
Fair
up the river.
enough. Yeah, I like using the word Sisyphean to describe just an effort that it's just you, despite working hard on something, you make no progress, and I think that fits Toxapex pretty well. It's just another very good ice resist to sort of balance the Ice Weak trio. Yeah, it's just a good Pokemon. It's synergizable with Torn, Generator, Toxic Spikes. It's a Pokemon I've got a lot of time for, and I'm also very glad got to me.
Also, the fact that you're guaranteed going to have at least 2 ground immunities, you got 2 so far,
Yeah.
and you've got 1 plant, is
Yeah.
quite nice.
Yeah.
And Sizzle's good psychic resist as well.
Yes, it's. I think it rounds. I think it sort of complements this
Yeah.
team really well.
It's
Honestly,
got
I
really
think.
good synergy with Landorus as well.
I think, and a lot of it was because I got a lot of help, but I do think I drafted for this core pretty damn well.
Yeah, I mean, it helps you have someone with experience
Yeah.
advising you.
So number 5, I finally decided to finish the core. Thunderous Therian. It is nicknamed Atropos, which is the eldest of the Fates sisters who share an eye, and yeah.
I think this is the one that can see the future,
Yeah, something like that.
and then Landorus can see the present, and then Tornadus can see the past or something. I don't remember.
It's like I read it before, like as I was naming them, but then it's just fallen out of my head. But this is just it
I'm
completes
torn
the
in
core.
of memories, I'm not gonna lie.
It completes the core. It's pretty cool. It's a nice strong special breaker, like 145 special attack. That's a lot of special attack. It adds more to the Volt Turn stuff. I like this Pokemon. I used it when I was first getting into drafts doing your Ubers League Electric. And it was
Yes.
pretty good for me there. And yeah, Hidden Power has hurt its coverage a little, but it still has Grass Knot to deal with most ground types, so it's fine. And yeah, Boots again have really helped it.
Yeah, False Switch U-turn, a lot better now with
Yeah.
Boots.
And yeah, I
Again,
basically.
but it's actually the first time we said Boots.
No, I said it about Torn.
Okay.
Yeah, Boots are helping this team exist a lot better. So I think this is a good first 5. There is 4 Volt Turners here. That's really good. You get good physical breaker, good special breaker. Like, it's good stuff. But I, once again, needed to really sort of fix my issues. And a big issue was rock. But ice is still a bit of a weakness. So I drafted a second steel. I drafted a very good second steel. I drafted Bronzong. Bronzong is named Bellar. Oh God, Bellerophon, and I can't remember who he is, but I just.
Bellerophon. He's the guy who fucking saddled Pegasus and then he was cast down
Oh yeah,
because he tried to declare himself a god and sailed to.
Yeah, and he lived. He lived, but now he's just looking for his horse, and Zeus tamed the horse, and Pegasus, and he's just looking for his Pegasus constantly, and it's like oh, don't get too big for your boots. Sort of
He
thing.
has levitate.
Yeah.
That was why? Yeah.
It's also got bell in the name, and it's a big bell.
Oh, wow, that's even better.
Yeah, my naming schemes are the best.
No.
Yeah, no, Bronzong's very good. It's another grand immunity, so I have 4 grand immunities. It's another ice resist. It is a very good rock resist, and I think, like I've also used this before. It was granted in the Gen 4 League, but it was super good for me in that, and I think it's going to be super good again. It's a little, I mean, it's obviously less good than it was in Gen 4, but it's still just
now
big.
it's weak, grossly.
Yeah.
This is another Pokemon that loses to Mamoswine because Mamoswine gets knocked off.
Yeah, but Mamoswine beats everything.
Mamoswine doesn't beat being crit by Bandits or Bullet Punch. That's currently your win.
Yep.
Yep.
Thankfully I only played Mamoswine once, and I think I play it really early on. I might even play it week 1. I don't quite.
Yeah, luckily you win every other game, but not that one. Just don't play him in playoffs.
Yeah, easy, done. Okay. But at this point I needed a fairy because I didn't need a fairy, but I think I wanted a fairy for I think like the dark matchup.
To still resist just wasn't enough. Sorry, to dragon resist just.
Well, also I wanted a nice, good wish Pokemon to have.
No, he doesn't have a dragon. And he's not going to draft the dragon because he has 5 million ice weaknesses. But,
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no. I really wanted Komodo for a while, but I couldn't fit it in. Anyway, the next Pokemon is I think it's just a decent Pokemon in general. A very cheap Pokemon, only 6 points. It is Aromatisse. Its nickname is Eurycides. Eurycides. The
Eurydice, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's it. The
wife of Orpheus.
Yeah, Orpheus's waifu.
Because she looks like she is stuck in Hades.
Yeah. Well, I'm fairly sure Hades, like when Orpheus first came down to Hades, Hades was like, "What the hell are you doing? You know what? Just to screw with you, I'm going to have 2 wives, and she's gonna be, your Eurycides is gonna be my second wife." But then,
Oh wait, isn't it? I think it's I think you're supposed to pronounce the C like her, because it's
okay.
Greek. So it'd be Eurydice or Eurydice.
I probably should have chosen a nickname.
Oh, it's Eurydica. Yeah.
With names I can actually say. Anyway, yeah. It was 6 points. I think that's super cheap for Aromatisse. I've got a lot of time for Aromatisse. It's just it's just a bulky fairy that has Wish, and that I think will help my team a fair bit. And yeah, it's got Trick Room, I guess, if I want to run like an offensive Trick Room, but I don't think I do. I mean, Toxapex, let's be honest, is a beast in Trick Room. It's unkillable. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. Do you have anything to say?
It's Pokemon.
Yeah. I don't know, I think, I genuinely think, especially my first 8 were incredibly well drafted. Speaking of my first 8, yeah, I don't think the other 2 are that awful. But my next Pokemon is Blissey.
Yeah.
Persephone? Yeah, Persephone. Oh god, what was Persephone again? Was she the wife of Hades?
Yes, she's the wife of Hades.
She's the wife of Hades, and basically she explains seasons. So, Hades was like, oh, she's the most beautiful person ever. Kidnapped her and forced her to eat 6 seeds, and if you eat something in Hades, you're stuck there forever. But then her mother was very upset and was sad, was really sad, and then, the earth started dying. It was getting bad. And then eventually Zeus negotiated with Hades that, okay, she will be underground with you for 6 months, and for 6 months she'll be with her mother. So the 6 months is, is summer and spring, when everything's fine, and then the other 6 months is autumn and winter when things start to die.
Yes.
Yeah, Blissy's got teleport, and that's really good. I wanted something to switch into a lot of ice beams and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and Blissey does that. Blissy's also another rocker.
Yeah, it means you can enable Sizzle to run a more physically defensive variant
Yep.
in a lot of matchups, which is nice.
Too.
And wish support for Bronzong is also solid
Yeah,
as well.
so 2 wishes, that's cool. More hazards, so more rocks. So I've got 3 rockers now, which is a good amount of rockers, I think.
Because Landers is the only one of the Therians that does not get recovery in their ability.
Yeah, that is true. Poor Landers. You know, why just I think they need to buff Landers some more.
I agree. I think Landers Therian is not good enough. They should give it Sheer Force and Intimidate at the same time.
And Roost.
I think, I don't know. Maybe just recover.
Yeah, sure.
Articuno Galar treatment.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. You know. Oh no! I was about to suggest synthesis, but that's too mean. It's not.
Is there like a synthesis but for sets? Sure up.
Yeah, sure up. Except sure up's way better than synthesis.
Landers on fucking Sandstorm.
Let's go. Yeah.
And give it to Gigalith too. The sure up.
Oh, actually, Gigalith could totally use it. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no, I just thought Blissey, cool Pokemon. I've drafted it in both my drafts, so that's an issue. I've never used it before, so maybe I'll hate it. Hopefully I don't.
I enjoy it. It's pretty cool. It's got like so much stuff. You can just like run Calm Might, and then it's like, hey, that Focus Blast did like 20% to me.
This is another Pokemon that became really good with Boots. It's used an OU over Chansey now with Boots because
It was only at OU for 2 generations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know in Gen 5 they were both in OU because people were
Yeah.
like, oh.
Well, I mean, Infinite Sand meant that leftovers are quite good.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same way that Boots are good for rocks. It just is reducing the amount of damage you take over time.
Yeah.
And that's less essential in Gen 6 and 7 without Infinite Sand because Sand's not just fucking everywhere.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think this is a pretty good team, but I had a few issues. So I had speed gaps, obviously. So I have a big speed gap between Tornadus and Thundurus, and that's an issue. And I've got a speed gap between Landotherian and Sizzle. So I needed, in my last 2 to 3 picks, to fix those. So I fixed it with a Pokemon that I know a lot of people
very good.
Aren't huge on, but I think it'll fill a speed gap. It might do a few things, and it's not Espeon, and that's Mega Absol.
So the previous the previous suggestion that I was running with was a comp which involved what was it, Espeon and what Pokemon? I don't remember what the other ones were.
I don't think we had another Pokemon. I think we just had Espeon and Dracovish.
Oh yeah, Dracovish, yeah. Which you didn't want to go in with.
Well, I didn't.
Dracovish messes crap.
It does, but also Dracovish. The thing
is, twice.
I only have one thing to deal with a really bulky, water, and that's a very good bulky water dealer. But it's like if that goes down, it's like becomes a bit more of an issue to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went with Mega Absol because it didn't completely ruin my...
That's right. You're talking about Seagrass.Landorus.
Yeah. It didn't completely ruin my, it didn't completely ruin my, Ghost and Dark matchup. I know it's a Mega Absol, it's not tanking them, but it's better than just...
It takes knockoffs, pre-Mega, gets justified boosts.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
It's also got a lot of attack, and that's pretty cool. It's got magic plants, that's pretty cool.
It's got several special
and also, I just like Mega Absol. I just like the design of Absol and Mega Absol. I think they're cute. I think they're neat. And I like their backstory. By the way, this is named Pandora after Pandora's box. She opened the box, bought disaster. And that's literally its. Well, it doesn't bring disasters, but it warns people of disasters.
Well, there's technically debate as to that.
Well, yeah. Well,
if you're not religious, then you think that it doesn't bring disasters.
Yeah. Well, it's like it can sense. Well, according to the Pokedex in Gen 3, it can sense disasters and warn people. It would appear and warn people of them. But then people were like, "Oh, it's showing up," and then there's cyclones. This is causing the cyclones. Yeah. It's. I think it's a very fitting name. And yeah, but then again, I still needed the Sizzle and Landorus gap filled. So I picked Kabutops. This is I think interesting choice, but I think it's a good one. Yeah, it's got Rapid Spin. It's my first Rapid Spin, and that's nice. It is another ice resist, and that's cool. And Grass is absolutely terrible against me. So Grass isn't actually ever coming to Kabuto to like mess with Kabuto. Granted, I don't think you bring out, you know, I don't know how often you tech Grass moves onto a Pokemon to deal with a 6-pointer, but still, I think its type matches. Like,
hopefully, because what? Do you even have another Grass weakness?
No, literally no. My ground is in the air, and my my water is poisonous.
Water's the poison, yeah.
Yeah, I also don't have many ground weaknesses. I also have a pretty good electric matchup considering Thundurus and Landorus are immune to it.
Yeah, so you have Toxapex and Kabutops do share two similar weaknesses.
Yeah.
But you have very good checks for those.
Well, also, they're both very different Pokemon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
Toxapex, another rock up, it's a spinner, that's cool.
Yeah.
Fills the speed gap. If there is a rain team,
which is cool.
Oh, it doesn't have flip turn.
Yeah, it does.
It does. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Which was like what I think is like, man, this is cool.
Yeah.
I was no, that's right. The Espeon was. There were two Espeon suggestions, and one of them involved Kabutops and another Pokemon. The other one was just Dracovish because fucking force prep, might as well.
Yeah. Look, I might if they grab solid Kabutops do nothing, I might go for it later. But I think I'm more comfortable with this now. Also, just, you know, granted, I don't know. I just feel like I didn't feel like Dracovish did that much, and I didn't like what Espeon brought to the table. But I might be wrong. Who knows?
You don't like winning. Instead, you like
your like love and hate relationship with Espeon. Like
Espeon is great because it has Magic Bounce, and that's the only thing.
Ask him about it tomorrow, and he'll talk about how bad Espeon is.
So what you have to understand is that Espeon is terrible if it's your only Psychic type, and Espeon is good if you have like one or two others, and you already have Bronzor, so it's perfect.
Anyway, yeah, Kabutops is named after King Midas. You know, the man who famously, I forget which god it was, but it was
He was the guy who was from Anatolia.
Yeah, the myth was it was a god of debauchery. He helped one of his like assistants, nursed him back to
Dionysus?
Yeah, Dionysus. Nursed him back to health.
Dionysus.
Yeah, brought him to Dionysus and was like, hey, you know, and then Dionysus was like, oh, you're amazing, I'll give you one wish. And his wish was anything I touch turns to gold. So he touched a bunch of stuff and was turning to gold. That was cool. He tried to eat some food, then it turned to gold. And then this wasn't the original myth, this was actually an addition. But his daughter came to him crying about how, because he touched all the roses in the road garden, and his daughter came to him and was like, oh my god, daddy, all the roses are gold now, they don't smell good anymore. So he's like, oh, okay, and he gave her a hug, and then she turned to gold. But that's not the original myth, but that's an addition.
And then you get to bathe in a river, and all the gold fell out, and that's why there was a bunch of gold in Anatolia, and that's why they should invade Anatolia, and they invaded Anatolia.
Good old propaganda. Unlike his opponents though, anything his hands touch will turn into death. Haha.
Because his hands are scissors.
Yes.
And that means he's not allowed to run either, which is very awkward.
Poor Kabutops. Anyway,
yeah.
We now get to the crap little screen of all my Pokemon on it. So, Electric, what do you think of this draft?
I think it certainly was able to abuse the versatility that you had in drafting Triple Therian Core, which was not stuck to being Mono Univa like mine was. But it may just prove
yours was Mono Univa?
Yeah, and I only lost one game.
Yeah, that's right.
I only lost one game in a 12-week league with best of 3 playoffs. I think I might have lost one game in playoffs as well. But yeah, I lost one game on season. I think I might have lost one of the best of 3s in playoffs. Like one of the games in a best of 3 on playoffs. But yeah, No. Unfortunately, not everyone can have the same luck I do to get round 4 Victini, but you know.
Yeah.
I think I also had Durakian, Cabalion, and Barisian.
That's so stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Durakian just kept missing fucking Stone Edges. I'm pretty sure there was one point where they just had to like keep trying to sack Mons and like waste turns, and like dodge Stone Edges with Moltres and Coco. So I wound up like taking like 6 U-turns from Coco and stuff, and I missed like 6 Stone Edges in a row.
Ugh.
And I just didn't have any PP left because of 2 of them missed.
That's
Like, no, one of them hit, and it put Coco down to like 12%, but it had boots, so I was like, okay.
Let's hope that doesn't happen with Hurricanes.
Well, you don't have to rack it, so it's fine. Just run air slash.
Exactly. Air slash is cool.
Oh, yeah, it can happen with Kabutops. Oh no!
Oh shit. Yeah.
I don't want Scarf Kabutops.
Scarf Rain Kabutops. Let's go.
Scarf Rain Kabutops. I mean, you've got good rain setters. You've got like Scizor. You've got like Torn. You've got like Zong. You've got like Toxapex can even run rain. Blissey can definitely run rain.
Well,
you know.
It's more of the
Raincore?
it's more of
Raincore?
just like, you know, yeah. I mean,
Capsule hits Thunder.
last season my team turned into a rain team with just an Antine. So this season,
That was good. Mantine is one of the least drafted Pokemon in WPF history, but it is also a Pokemon which like wound up becoming your kill leader in like 2 games.
I don't think it was my kill leader because
it came pretty close at the very least.
I got like 8 or something in 2 games. It was crazy.
Yeah, very solid. I was right. Absol does get Thunder, and I'm pretty sure it gets like 150 Spatak or something.
Yeah, it's got
150. Yeah.
Good spec.
So Raincore.
Okay, let's go. Done.
Yep.
Yeah. This is we're back to season 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like the season before, where you. No, it was season 5.
Season 5, yes.
Where just everything was rain.
Oh, for the second half, yeah. Anyway, I think that about wraps it up. Do you have any more closing comments? I don't know. I like this team. I think it'll be good. I think.
Thank you for watching, and remember, your next stop, the WPF.
What?
It's Twilight Zone reference.
Okay.
Goddamn.
Okay.
Just trying to end it with the Twilight Zone outro.
I think a very awkward ending is better.